Good evening. This is the Rutland Town Planning Commission. It's August 6, 2026. Let's begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome everyone. We've got Sherman Hunter, Jerry Stearns, Dana Peterson, Howard Burgess, Norm Cohen, Demetrio. Blanking on your last name, Demetrio.
Coliseus Gagnon. Or just
Gagnon.
Gagnon.
Okay, sorry about that. You're on Zoom. I'm here. So first item is the approval of the agenda.
To approve the agenda for
Second.
August 6th, 2026. Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, don't think there's any public in attendance tonight, in person or on Zoom. And Demetrio, do you have your video on?
I do not currently.
Okay, so that's why we don't see you. Okay. I
No.
thought it was something I was doing on my end. So we'll skip past public comment. On your desk for the next item, on the one item under new business, is just to look at the last fiscal year's expenditures and what was budgeted. Just an FYI for everyone. Our budget was a total of $13,550. We spent $8,623.07. And so we put about a little more than $4,900 into the capital improvement fund. Let's remember that when it comes to the maybe the pocket park.
That means we've got extra money to spend.
Well, it goes right into that capital improvement fund. And it's gone at the end of the fiscal year.
I understand that.
So, yeah, I think we should.
So if we were to level fund the budget for next year and spending is similar to this year, we would have extra money to spend.
Exactly. If we.
Sorry for my shorthand.
And we'll get into maybe some possibilities there, but the legal services were, a little bit more than we budgeted because with those bylaws, there's so much back and forth there. So we went over the $2,000.
I don't have the numbers.
They're right there.
It's just-
That little, yeah, not
Well,
much, it's just,
I guess I'm puzzled because the actual legal services, oh, I'm sorry, you're correct. I was reading it wrong.
yeah, and the regional commission dues, that's based on our population, so estimated 4,000, it's a little bit, we're below 4,000 now. And, planning commission pay, that's the timesheets.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
And miscellaneous, I can't remember what we spent that on. Advertising would be for warnings and things. Bill put some newspaper for us. And we didn't spend any on consulting. So yeah, let's remember that we've been putting money to fund for a while. Subdivision bylaws under old business. The Selectboard held their first hearing on July 28th. There was a suggestion by the head lister, Marie Fagnant, that there is a sentence in here that should be more clear, should be clarified. And it's in section 2, general provisions, and it says, these are our exemptions. These bylaws apply to any subdivision except for any of the following. And the one she she noticed was the combination or recombination of portions of lots where the total number of lots is not increased. She thought that was confusing. The select board said, come back with some language that you would propose for that. So that will be at their next meeting, which is the 11th, which will be the next public hearing. But if she does follow through with that, that's going to be a significant enough change that everyone thinks it will be, that they will have to hold a third hearing, and in between the second one on the 11th and the next one, which would probably be the 25th, it needs to come to us. So actually, it wouldn't be the 25th. It needs to come back here, and we have to.
On the 27th.
We have to, yeah. We have to look at it and change some of the documentation we submitted to the state for it, and then it goes back to the select board, and it could be a third hearing. Yeah. I haven't said this yet, but I will tell the select board, that's all right with everyone, that, we want to keep this as user friendly as possible. It's still, it's a pretty complicated document, but we don't want people having to hire lawyers to kind of figure things out. So I'll just be on the lookout how complicated the suggestion is.
Who's gonna, are we gonna develop the suggestion or?
No,
Maria's.
no, Mary Ashcroft said, okay, to the head lister, Marie Fagnet,
Oh,
come to us with some language that you think would be better suited or more, would cover more ground. So other than that, there wasn't, no one was here for the first, none of the public
for the 28th.
for the first one on the 11th.
No,
No.
it was coming
On
up
the,
next year.
yes, on the 28th.
Yeah. I didn't miss any fireworks.
No, no fireworks. So let's move it along. Let's see, we have the Pocket Park engineering design. We went over that last time. And I don't know, Jerry, if you caught any of it. So Otter Creek put together some new things. The trail from the parking lot to the overlook is going to have some curves in it. There will be at the overlook, there'll be a 50-foot linear fence that will go like where the old highway and bridge were across there, but then there'll be a little jog so that people can go up to the fence and look at the waterfalls. Everything will be, he's got 2 picnic tables. There'll be a bench by the overlook as well. And there'll be a bike rack out by the parking lot. And the kiosks will be out by the parking lot. I think all of those, I think even the kiosks need to be, for flood purposes, need to be cast in concrete, little pads. So they're not doing much with the parking lot, but the trail, they're going 6 inches down. So all of the asphalt that's there now is be lifted up and replaced with Sherpa. And probably a couple of layers of things. And the plan is to get town crews in there to clear the path area, and I think 6 feet on both sides, clear everything out. And the town crew will do the new path. They will put in the the amenities and the concrete pads, and there also will be a retaining wall. There's an abutment now. So the engineer asked for a retaining wall, think about 2 feet high, and then a fence in that. Yeah,
Going back to the path. Is that going to impact the path down to the waterfront where the fishermen go?
no, but it'll be cleared out so that more people will be able to see, oh, there's another trail. So that trail won't be improved or anything.
Yeah.
It will be more visible, I think. So,
It's not visible now.
no, you have to know where it is.
Since we were on that, is the I want to say, I'm trying not to use the word path, is the walkway inside the park part of the way to get to the way the fishermen would get to their fishing spots?
No,
Okay,
no.
I didn't think so.
The new path will be just along where that old road went, the old highway. And we won't be improving the fishing trail. I'm just saying it might be more visible because we're clearing out so much
Mhm.
land around the path, on each side of the path.
I read somewhere in the notes that there was 2 new trees to be,
Those are the trees that Mary bought. So those
And where-
still need to be planted. And the plan is still to do this work this year.
oh,
Okay.
But maybe this fiscal year.
Oh, and then the trough will be moved
Yeah.
this year.
and you have to get a permit for that, right?
No, but I keep forgetting to call, V-Trans, Demetrio, because it's in there right away. We want them to know we're moving it. They may want to do the traffic control.
You mean
Our
it is
guys-
currently located in there right away, or we're gonna be putting it in there right away?
We're gonna be putting it up in the new part of the pocket park, taking it from their right away. I believe it's their right away.
Where it's currently located on the
Yeah.
by the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, and
And it's
it
gonna be
will
located
be,
again inside there right away?
yeah,
Okay.
well, it's gonna be moved from there to the path area of the new pocket park, and it goes in about halfway down or something like that.
So it'll be within the park.
That's correct.
No, we'll take it out of there right away.
Yeah.
I remember there being a fairly large, it seemed a little larger than I was expecting. There's a right of way on the edge of the pocket park. And I believe it was 50 feet or so, which seemed like a large
Yeah,
right
they
of way.
do.
Is the relocation of the trough going to be within that 50-foot right of way or no?
No, the trough is coming into this little pocket park.
It'll be,
I understand that. At one point, I thought that the trail was at least going to abut, if not overlap with their right of way. And that's why I'm asking that question.
Oh, so this is phase 1, which gets trimmed, a lot as we go on. So phase 1 is just, the kiosk, the new trail that goes along the old highway, fixing, securing the overlook, putting a couple picnic tables and a bench, the bike rack.
Yeah, no, I
And that's
understand.
that.
I understand what's in phase 1. I'm just asking because I thought I had remembered previously, and that was a question I had asked back then, whether the location of the trough was going to be in or at least near the right of way that we had to pay attention to, that was going to abut, I thought, the path that was in the park. So I'm just asking.
That path, I think that you're referring to, is in another phase that we're not doing. We're just doing the corner of Simon's
So the
Avenue.
trough will readily be outside of that.
It'll be in our
That's
land.
all I was asking.
It'll be on the town's land.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jim.
Let me see if I understand this too. I thought I did, but coming from the entrance that we're in the process of redeveloping,
Right,
there's gonna be a kiosk, right? That's the first thing we'll see.
yep,
Then there's the new path. And along the new path is where the water trough is going to be placed,
right.
closer to the creek.
I can't remember where it is exactly. It's somewhere along that path, which isn't
But it's
very long.
but it's nowhere near Route 4.
No.
No,
It's,
So when you've got a 50-foot, when you have a 50-foot right of way, it doesn't take with a park that's that small. I was just trying to make sure
I
we
get it.
didn't have something to
Yeah.
watch out for. That's all.
And
Yeah.
I think there may be another path that eventually will be built closer or in part of that.
that was, yeah, that we
That might be what-
That
suggested.
might be what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I was trying to say.
That's like the second phase or whatever.
And back to the watering trough, the town crew people and Bill have the idea that they're gonna use the
Forklift.
inflatable fire department lift. They're gonna use some, an excavator lift or something like that, but there's these big inflatable things that the fire department has as well, that they're gonna add, wrap around the trough. So when it gets moved, it doesn't get damaged. I've never seen these things, but
might ask Bill, if we want some publicity for the pocket park, when that is moved and they're using this fancy equipment, might be a good thing to notify the Herald and somebody come out, get a picture.
yeah, yep, or I'm sure he'll put something on Facebook. And that's another option.
But
yeah.
also in the paper. I mean,
Yeah,
it's enough of a big deal.
right. But we don't want, the one caveat, we don't want people at the park before it's done.
Well, that's,
And this won't be the last thing, one of the last things. But despite all this, there's been no approval by the select board of any budget. And they're actually still putting numbers together, and I sent you, the wish list. These numbers haven't even been put together for the select board yet, but that's, and these things are all coming from, one company. So it's a recycled plastic, hard plastic picnic table. And another one that has a cutout for wheelchairs, it's ADA. And then the 6-foot bench would also be this recycled plastic. And so will the bike rack.
Bike rack.
Yeah, it's. So I can't even say that at the next meeting we will approve the budget, because the next
Not
meeting
the
is going to be really brief, because it's primary day. And they just only have like a half hour in this room. So we're still a couple weeks away and having it official. But in the meantime,
If you're talking about budget for, the planning commission, you're talking budget for the park.
for the select board has to find the money, come up with a number, a budget that they're comfortable with, and then find where they're going to take that money out of.
For the pocket park.
we've got $4,900 from our budget.
Well, yeah, that's a start.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, trying to find, GMP is now working on the kiosk. Not much has been going on with that for a long while, but they're now on the case. And these out. It's a 3-sided kiosk. And it's exactly like the one that is at the start of the boardwalk at the West Rutland Marsh. And because things have gotten kind of scoped down and narrowed, I hope I hope even a 3-sided kiosk works. But my question for, I have a picture. So there won't be any historical signs, per se, in this first phase. Here it is. This is what it looks like at the marsh. And that's what our kiosk will look like. And those are the dimensions of this. Okay. So probably the front side will be general information. Yeah. And
That's
then,
facing Simon's Ave.
yeah, in the parking lot. And that will have things like welcome to the name we come up with for the park. It's a carry in, carry out park. The park hours, it's patrolled by police. And then I thought we should have a flood warning message there. And we might be able to use some of the photos of the 27 flood, just to kind of,
27 or 37.
well, there were floods in both of those years. I think 27 was the worst.
It was the biggie. Yeah.
So, yeah, just to get that message across even more, that this could be a dangerous situation going close to that river.
Could you just, is that 3 lights? Or the 4 lights on the?
We don't see, here's one side, and then there's a side in the back.
So there's a leg that we just can't see
Yeah.
in the picture.
No, it's got 3 legs.
Oh, only, okay.
So Barbara, I have a question about the dimensions here. Is that 94-inch, a diagonal between 2 points of the triangle, whereas the 53-inch is the surface area or the length of the surface area?
Yeah, I
of each
think the
side?
94 is the roof line.
Oh,
times-
that's what that
Times
is.
3.
Right.
And then each of the sides each of them are 53 inches wide and 3 feet tall. So we'll have enough to fill in this front side.
Mhm.
And then we got 2 panels of 3 feet by 36 inches by 53 inches. And that's bigger than the historical signs we were thinking about. They were 24 by 36. So we've got, if you will, a little extra room to put stuff up. So I reworked. I mean, the select board is just not entertaining the notion of historical signs, even though Otter Creek Engineering, in their final design, put 2 or 3 of them at the overlook. Which is a perfect place for them, but they're just
2 or 3 of the signs.
historical signs, 24 by 36s.
So what is the hang up on the historical?
I don't know. And, we can get some really good 24 by 36 weatherproof, vandal resistant, signs for like $1,500 each. And that includes design help. So, so that goes back to maybe reminding them of what the money we've been putting back into the general fund. We just this past year, we put in enough for
I'm just flabbergasted by it.
3 signs.
By the hang up over signs. I just don't get it.
Sure, it's all about money.
But
Sure.
there's been no money, there's been no dollar figures, thrown out yet. So, I think they think that the kiosk is big enough to display all the information that we want. But people are not going to be, they're going to spend a few seconds at the kiosk. And then they're gonna go to the overlook.
Every place that I've ever visited, whether here in the United States or elsewhere, if you have a site that has historical value or particular beauty or a panoramic view of something, there's always a sign. The sign depicts what it was like and what it is like now, or what the features are around the area, or what the historical significance.
And I'd love to have signs say, if you look look this way and this is where Fort Ranger would have been.
Sure.
Or this is where all of that marble was cut. And
I don't know. I think for the small amount that it would cost to do that, we're dickering, whatever, about peanuts. I mean, we probably spend more on peanuts to feed elephants in the zoo than we're talking about for a sign. But that's just me.
What bothers me is that a lot of the purpose of this park is to illustrate the historical significance of the area,
right.
and they're backing off of that.
That's the newness we're bringing to that area. People know there's falls there. Most people know they can go and look at the falls. But yeah, what we're bringing is what they don't know. Or they learned a long time ago, school. So yeah, it's been frustrating. It's, I've gotten to the point where I just make jokes about it now, with them. And
What about
we have a good laugh about me just insisting that we need signs, but
what about if we all go and tell them
Yeah.
that we really feel as a group this is important? And if not, there'll be consequences.
yeah.
I mean, to kind of go off Dana's point, I mean, we are spending a lot of time talking about things and we don't have any sort of direction and or understanding of the budget and how much we can spend. So we're being asked to make something without knowing what sort of budget we can utilize to make those things. And I don't know, I'm getting to the point, I think with Dana and others, like we've been talking about this for almost 6, 7 months, 8 months now. It's Pocket Park. Like, are we going to get some action? Yeah, well, from what I recall, like, are we going to get something done, or are we just going to keep talking about it and not actually do it? Because if that's what we're going to do, then that's fine. Let's just go ahead and say we're going to keep talking about it. We'll put it on the agenda and we'll talk about it. And 10 years from now, we'll keep talking about it. But until they actually want to put up a budget and start agreeing, either let us do it or they should figure out what they want to do. Because it's very difficult trying to manage between you don't have a budget, but we don't want that. So either give us the autonomy for us to decide how we want to do the park and give us a budget allotment for that, or maybe we just don't do the park at all. I don't know. I mean, it's really getting frustrating, this back and forth.
I know it's frustrating. But it's a priority of the select board. They just are really just taking such small steps.
Well, then it can't be a priority if they're not making any action. I mean, you can tell me it's raining and you're pissing on my back. I mean, I know when it's rain. In very few parts of the world do you get rain at 98 degrees. So I'm really just getting it. Yeah, I'm kind of the same thing. I mean, we're talking about this again. I mean, I don't know how many meetings we've had this Pocket Park and bringing in Native Americans and going through this whole thing. And if the select board wants to do something, let's do something. Otherwise, let's stop talking about it. I don't know, but I'm a person. I want to get things done.
Right.
So
right.
Sorry, Sherman. I kind of took.
No, that's okay.
That's fine.
That's all right. No, I'm just saying what I think he's saying in different ways, that the select board seems to be designing this park and deciding what's going to be done. We're not.
So what's our role? That's the question I have.
But that's not our role. I mean, it hasn't been so far. We've just been told what they've done, how it's going to look, and so.
So why are we talking about it? I mean, what's the
They are
select board?
expecting us to fill. They are expecting us to fill up the kiosk. And so we've got some rules.
Just give them the information on the kiosk. Here you go. Our job's done. We can move on to other things.
Right. We'll probably need to go to a printer and stuff like that. But I was going to ask you folks if you would give me permission to go talk to probably Awesome Graphics, with the dimensions, and, get their advice on how many words, if we intersperse with photos, we would have on those dimensions, the 53 inches by 36.
I'll make a motion to authorize, the chair of the planning commission to, get a quote from Awesome Graphics and some consultation about the layout, for appropriate signage on the kiosk for the pocket park.
A second.
Is there a second, okay, Sharon? Yeah, so, okay, if we're restricted to the three sides, one side is taken up with the general information about the parks, the housekeeping type stuff. And then the other two could be broken down. And this is what I would take to, Awesome Graphics, whoever I go to. The first one would be the power of the falls, something like that. You know, it was free flowing for the longest time. Indigenous people went there, trappers went there, early settlers. The first, you know, the first permanent settlement in Rutland was there. They put in smaller water powered, again, free flowing water mills. And then there was a period where it was dammed and there were larger mills there. And then that led to the marble industry, and that being, you know, growing really fast, consolidating, and being a huge factor for the Rutland area, this part of the state. And then that goes to lead into electricity. So free flowing information, and then the dammed river there. The second theme would be the crossroads, where this was a trail for Indigenous people and early settlers, trappers. There's the Crown Point Road for military purposes. There was Fort Ranger because it was near this crossroads. Railroads, all kinds of them, 3, 4 came through there at one time. Highways, and then maybe putting something in about revival of Indigenous traditions and preserving the history in that area. So it would be very brief, terse kind of language, but there should be room for most of that and some photos. And we saw some of the photos that we could put in there. Yeah.
You say the main part of the sign.
The front. The front.
The front.
Facing Simon's Ave.
Is that where you're gonna have certain information about, for instance, patrol by police, carrying,
Right.
and the information you're talking about will be on one or both of the sides, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the name of the park and whatever the history of the name
Right.
is, yeah.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
if
So,
you do that, I'm not sure why. I guess there's plenty of other information that we could put if we ever got to signs on the overlook area.
yeah. But you're familiar with the sign on North Main Street where
Yeah.
the dam was taken out.
Oh, yes.
Country Dam. And that's 24 by 36. So we've got more than twice the length of that to put information on. And there's quite a bit of information on that 24 by 36.
It's done beautifully.
Yeah.
Concisely, and I've been back to look at it 2 or 3 times. And
Yeah. So,
You'll make it interactive enough to get people to go over there and look at those kinds of things. You're gonna get the thing like the original Vacation movie, where
Yeah.
Chevy Chase and his wife go up to the Grand Canyon and they just do the head bob because they're in a hurry. Because that's what everybody's gonna do. They're gonna walk around, they're gonna, oh, it's great. Out they're gonna go. You gotta give them a reason to stand there and actually enjoy that look.
That's right.
yeah.
And if you don't, we're just pissing away time and money. I mean, it's just, I
You
agree
mean at
with
the
Demetrio. He's been here for 8 months. He ought to sit here as long as we have been.
Oh, I know. I
Want
know.
to talk about frustrating? Holy crap. I just think they got the select board's gonna have to step up here and say just what he's saying. You gotta, do it or get off the pie.
That's exactly what was popping into my
You're gonna-
my mind, and I was refraining from trying to say
Yeah,
that, because
yeah.
that's,
And I was polite.
you were polite, right? But I'm
They
thinking the exact same
need
thing right
to
there, buddy.
just say to us, look, we will allow this much money to be spent on signs. If they don't, what really is the point? You want it all for free? I mean, GMP's,
$1,500 each.
and then,
So-
the town's gonna end up having to mow it and maintain it when hardly anybody's using it because there's no interactiveness to the view of the falls.
It's
It
just
just blows my
project for the
mind.
sake of it.
Right,
Maybe they
even
just
if
haven't
we
thought
put like
far ahead.
QR codes, with the information, embed them on those panels.
Yeah.
Those, people they're not gonna be spending a lot of time right there at the head of the trail. And when they leave, they probably won't they won't stop again. So yes, they're gonna be going out to
Be
the,
nice to see them retain some of that by looking at some visuals and have kids think that that's cool and look at it. Otherwise, it's just I don't know.
And if it is cool and attractive, people will come.
Okay, and
And
they'll
that
tell
will
other
bring-
people that'll come maybe. They only come once, but maybe they'll tell other people and they'll come once.
But it will be a draw to the area, and we can build on that for economic development if we want.
I just think
Right.
it'd be nice to see them finally step up and say,
So,
this is what we're gonna allow.
that's been so
But the
frustrating.
signs on the front side, to lure people into the park, and to make it attractive. And then once they get down there, we tell them more about it.
Right.
Or even if they were to say, look, the reason we're doing this is it's financial purposes. Let's get to this point and next summer we'll add those signs. That'd be
I
great.
think maybe
I thought they'd
that
do that.
is the grand plan. I'm not sure. They haven't said so much. But I think, even with the 53 by 36, everything's gonna be really truncated. To cover all the topics I just mentioned, which, we don't wanna really
Right.
leave anyone out.
Right.
So it's gonna be, everything's gonna be summarized there. So there's ample opportunity and ample information and content to still put some other signs
Agreed.
at the overlook where
Yeah.
they belong.
so
So we,
two
Yeah.
things, Barbara. One, you have the historical themes with the power of the falls and the crossroads. Doing this quick, sketch here, there are really three topics that could be covered. One is indigenous, peoples, and that's, under the power of the falls, and also, the trails of indigenous people and so forth, down below the first bullet point. And it also, has the revival of tribal traditions. That's the sixth bullet point. Those could be rolled into one theme, one panel.
mhm,
Two, dam falls, larger mills, explosive growth and consolidation. That ties in with railroads and highways. So that could be a second theme, a second panel. The third is based on Fort Ranger and the Crown Point Road, which is not listed up in the power of the falls, but they were there because of the importance of that waterway. And that would be a military history presence. And so, that's what the Crown Point, Road and Fort Ranger could represent. So you have three ideas that could be interspersed, on each one of those panels, and more information could be, provided if other signs are allowed. That's just my thought. Second idea. I don't know if we're really in charge of advancing this project. We don't need to care about what the select board is coming up with for a budget. I say we put together our own budget. We ask the select board to fund it. If the select board chooses to give us less money than what we think is needed, we go to the private citizens and do a campaign and say, we need extra money seriously. VPR does it all, or Vermont Public does it all the time. They do match campaigns. So we do our own little campaign to see if we can get a match to help advance what we think is important. There are people in this town who would support the ideas that this group has been talking about. And I am sure we could come up with at least as much as the select board authorizes. And if it's really a question of money, I don't think it is a question of money.
it's not.
But
It's not.
so we should be able to move forward. What Demetrio is saying, what Jerry's saying, it's the same thing. it's not unique. My idea is not unique, but we gotta move forward because, we've been sitting in the same place.
Well, we have to move,
Yeah.
we have to move forward, but we have to stay in their good graces because they have the purse strings. They are actually in control of this project. They asked us for a design and they oversee the crews that will be doing all of the work.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, I still don't see that. I don't see the inconsistency. I just don't. Maybe it's me and I'm blind, but I don't see an inconsistency. If we're gonna
If I
do it,
was-
we don't.
Go ahead, Dana.
Well,
just
there's an
let me go.
inconsistency. What is our work? What do they want us to do? Because I think this is a select board project and we're asked to just provide a little information on the
Right, we
side.
were asked. to
That's
do
the way I look at it. It's not our
They-
project.
Right.
They went
Besides
out
the-
and got an engineer, they got the engineers to go and we were never told that the engineers were coming and never asked anything about it
Or given a budget for that.
or given a budget for that and don't know what it's going to.
So, our role was first to come up with a design and talk to people and, stakeholders. And now it's pretty much confined to what the signage is gonna say.
It just seems like our role should have been over a long time ago. I mean,
I agree with you.
when do we stop being, 6 or 8 secretaries for the select board? I mean, we've done our best. We've provided, we provided a lot of information. I mean, isn't it time they take it and run with it or let us run with it? One or the other.
One or the other. That's exactly right.
The wheels turn very slowly in select board meetings. There's so many things.
Well, they need to change that. They need to start getting the wheels turning. If not, get them out of there and get people in charge that are going to do things. Because sitting here talking about a pocket park for 8 months is a waste of time and a waste of money. And we don't get
8
paid.
years, Demetrio.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying from my experience, 8 months of talking about this, and I'm fed up with talking about it. Let's just get a direction and let's get moving forward. We're not moving, we're sitting. And
Agreed.
objects stay in motion. Objects in motion stay in motion. We're not in motion. We're at rest, and we're going to stay in rest until some catalyst gets a kick up the butt to get this moving. And the way it's appearing with the select board wanting to control the purse strings is it's going to be half-assed, and it's going to end up costing us more money because we're not going to do it right the first time.
I agree with
Either
you.
you spend the money, you do
Demetrio.
it right the first time, or you don't bother. I don't even want to be tied to it because I feel like it's going to be a disaster to begin with. And if anything, the select board can come back and say that we're the ones that were in charge of doing this and blame it on us. Oh, they didn't do
I don't think that will happen. I don't think that will happen. And it is in their court right now, and
They got to do something.
So then we ought to just, if the ball's in their court, I think I for one would like to concentrate on talking about something else until they come to us and say, give us a specific idea. Well, we're just spinning our wheels. I don't blame him. I mean, Demetrio, the time that he's been here, we've all gone through this over and over. There's nothing more frustrating than leaving here and driving home and saying, we didn't talk about anything but
some of this was necessity because we were going for grants. We did get one grant at the very beginning in 2019 to do this. The land was never surveyed, not even by Green Mountain Power, and we did a couple other things with that grant. We've tried for a couple others subsequent to that, which we didn't get. So the select board was, always on board with that process, trying to find more grant money. And when it became apparent that, this little park was not going to be a good sell or an easy sell
To whom?
for other grant
Oh,
givers,
yeah.
then they said, okay, we're gonna do it ourselves. We're gonna do it with town crews. We're gonna do it with our own monies. They're even talking about using some of the 1% sales tax.
That's
funds
an
for that.
easy, I was thinking about that, but I didn't dare say it because I was figuring that there's some reason why we can't, and we get so many dollars. We are talking about, once again, peanuts. Talking about peanuts.
I don't get the impression that cost is an issue here.
I don't know.
Right,
I don't,
right.
it's,
It must not
The
be.
word I think is an issue, is control. They're in control of this, they want to control it. And we have to react to that. That's
Yeah, but to
What-
Jerry's point,
Jerry's, well, yeah.
what I would prefer to do is say, you've given us a task. Here's our work. It's now yours.
Well,
You do with it what you want, or you tell us what.
we can say, we now know what we want to put on the kiosk and leave it at that. We don't want to make any suggestions to anything else.
Be careful what you wish for. I mean, do we want to be in charge of the town crews?
No.
You know, and all of the work there's a ton of work that needs to be done in the next few months. We're
Perhaps
still
we should-
looking at an opening in October.
Perhaps we should get, 4 or 5 cans and label them with what these little portions and put them on the floor and see which one they kick. Cause that's what's happening. The can just keeps getting kicked down the road. I mean, I understand if it's not budget, if it's truly not budget, I don't understand. If it is budget, I understand.
Yeah.
Money's money, but if it's not the budget, I know they're busy people. I'm not saying their job is not difficult, but
Right.
It's from our standpoint, at least from mine, it's pretty damn
I'm right there.
frustrating.
Yeah.
So, there is a motion on the floor. But this discussion,
And there's a second by Sherman.
yes. And all of this discussion has kind of been about the motion. And whether we go to Awesome Graphics and just get some basic information. You know, how many words and how many photos can we put on those two sides? Just so we carry that end of the bargain that we have right now.
You've also got to consider the print size.
Yep,
You can't, that dictates nobody.
exactly, yeah.
So there's been a motion and seconded or no?
Yes.
We
Yes.
did have,
And we've been discussing, yeah.
In fact,
So,
I'm sorry. Maybe they had something to do where they can look at the sign on North Main Street because that print size is very, very comfortable.
yeah.
Can we tell the select board to lead, follow, or get out of the way?
try that.
I'm not, and I'm
I
not,
mean,
I don't think that's a smart move.
no, but I mean, we need to get something done. We got 2 months away. We have nothing figured out for the cruise. We're still figuring out what the messaging is on the sign. I mean, if we were to do LCD signs or LED signs, I mean, that would be $1,000. You could have them, motion censored when somebody goes there so it turns on to conserve power. And you get more words on there. And I mean, the anti-vandalist signs are what, $1,500?
Yes, the typical historical sign
Yeah.
is that you would see. They did not like the LED idea.
Why not? Or I guess I'll just go to the next select board meeting and ask them point blank, what was it with the LED that you don't like? I mean, that's the way it's going.
I can only guess that they thought it was maybe a little bit too high tech for the kind of park that it was, that would look out of place.
I think it'd be interactive and
Yeah.
bringing kids there. They're going to see it. They're going to point to things, touch things. I mean, it's interactive. That's what we want. We want people to interact with the park, not just come there, look at a sign. Oh, it's a sign and then move on. We want something that's going to grab their attention and bring them to the park and have them stay there for, some time, 10, 20 minutes, walk around. Oh, that's a neat experience. I learned a lot, and then move on to something else. So
Yeah,
I apologize
Yeah.
for being a little bit vocal tonight. I'm sorry.
it's okay. It's okay.
Hey, Demetrio, I'm just glad that somebody else is talking as opposed to me. So I'm not complaining about it.
Fair enough, Dana.
So what about the motion? We ready for a vote?
What's the motion?
The motion is to authorize the PC chair to consult with Awesome Graphics to get a quote and recommendations about the design for the signage.
Did you say it so it doesn't have to be Awesome Graphics?
Okay. I will make a friendly motion to a
Didn't
friendly
they say,
amendment. The motion is to authorize the PC chair to consult with a print and design
a
company,
local
Yeah.
print design company?
local print and design company, to get a quote and recommendations about the design for the signage.
I second.
You approve the change.
You
You approve the
yeah.
change. The other second?
I think the change was a great idea.
Thanks.
Okay, everybody know the motion? Excuse me, all those in favor? say aye.
All right.
All right.
Opposed? Okay. We'll make progress even if
Now, just as
the can keeps
Curiosity.
getting kicked down the road.
is there an opportunity to ask Awesome Graphics if they would donate the signs? If the cost, if they were able to donate it. I mean, if we're worried about cost, why aren't we employing local businesses to help build this? And we can then, here's a local business. Support the local businesses that put in effort and time into constructing this pocket park.
Sponsored by, put something like that on the site. I mean, there are all kinds of ideas, Demetrio. I'm with you.
Yep, yep. And I'm thinking that those two sides should have something, whatever they have for content, it goes into a frame so that it's weatherproof and people just don't rip it off and things like that.
You're talking about a case?
Case.
Yeah. As Jerry said, I don't think it's about money. So,
Well, I'm not sure we know what it's about. So, moving along, unless there's any other discussion on that, there is a related topic as the next item, and that's what we're going to name the pocket park. And the select board would like to have a contest. They are in the driver's seat, okay? They would like a contest to get ideas for that. And so at the community day on August 16th, Sunday, the 16th, we'll have something there where people could put ideas down. But the select board is kind of insistent that we don't leave it totally open-ended, that we have that it'd be like multiple choice.
oh my God.
So
And the people there vote on it?
they would say, yeah, essentially they would. But I would add like other ideas to it. I think I can get away with
We'd have
that.
four or five names and then other.
Right.
Right.
So I'm wondering if this group has any ideas. Joe DiNardo has just off the cuff mentioned during the select board meetings, let's call it the Falls. So I can put that in
The
as an
Falls Park.
option. The Falls.
Okay.
No one wants to keep, the pocket park as part of the name.
Right.
That's a description. Size.
That makes sense.
Any other ideas?
Historically, was it Mead, John Mead, who was one of the first,
James Mead,
James Mead, one of the first developers
right?
of the area? I suggest James Mead Park.
So Norman, given what is happening in historical revision stuff, I would try to stay away from any naming that identifies an individual.
Why is that?
Because all across the country, there are all kinds of battles over what the person historically did or didn't do. And so I would rather stay away from attributing a name to a person just to avoid any type of conflict. Not that I see conflict, but people see conflict these days where I don't see any. And I'm tired of some of the debates that are occurring. But so I would, if something like the Falls or something that describes the function of the area would not be a bad idea.
Okay, I'm open to the idea. I would mention that the historical sign in the AOT right of way, the corner of Simons and Business Route 4 says Meads Falls.
Yes.
It's that's probably the most proper name there is for that set of falls historically.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. So I think we can get around maybe some of your concerns with that one.
I don't,
With
I
that
mean,
name.
I really don't care. I'm simply expressing an idea that you can avoid a lot of controversy by not giving a location the name of an historic individual, because apparently every historic individual that we've ever known is subject to revisionist scrutiny. So I'm just, that's all I'm saying, for what that's worth. But I don't have a bone
We
to
could
pick.
call it the real Rutland
Oh, my
Falls,
name on that sheet, so
since it was the first
you'll put
Rutland.
it in the get-go.
I'm joking,
Sure.
but I'm trying to elicit maybe some more ideas.
When I hit, it's very close.
To Mead connection.
Just because I had seen it. Walk in, there's something.
And this is somewhat related, but just this afternoon, I got the final word from the tribe, not the Abenaki, the other one, that they cannot participate in any content for a sign that mentions it's not Abenaki per se, but it's a non-federally recognized tribe. So the Abenaki are just state recognized tribes, so they cannot
Talking about the Muncies?
buy the Muncies. They cannot buy by what their regulations are through the federal government. They cannot, those two tribes, information about those two tribes cannot be on the same sign if they're contributing to the content. And as the Muncies have staff people, I was really hoping to be able to work with them on some of the content, because they actually have paid staff that this is their job to do this kind of stuff. So
So the
So that's-
Muncies are a federally recognized tribe, but the
Southbridge
Abenakis are
Muncie.
not.
yeah,
And they can't work with a non-recognized tribe.
but that Dunkley Dam, that dam sign on North Main Street, does have a short mention of the Stockbridge Muncie and not the Abenaki. So I guess maybe they ran into the same. They chose to go with the Muncie, the Stockbridge Muncie. I don't know.
Maybe it's historically supported too, that there was only one tribe.
Yeah, yeah.
Can we, use the name of, what was the road that came through there as part of the
Crown Point Road.
Crown Point Park?
Mm-hmm.
Just,
Yeah, that was for military purposes during the Revolutionary War to connect with the Lake Champlain ports, get munitions and people back and forth. It was also to get settlers into Vermont.
so,
Okay.
I like Crown Point Park. What was the name of the first railroad that went through there?
Something like, Pennsylvania and Hudson or something like that. I mean, not very exciting.
I think we're safer with a historical figure than with anything else. And something meaningful to Rutland Town.
What Joe DiNardo said, the falls, it's what everybody around here calls it. I don't hear people call it the Mead Falls. Everybody says, hey, did you see the falls? When the flooding was going on, everybody calls it the falls. I gotta say, I like his choice. I mean, that's what everybody here calls it.
So Falls Park.
Center Rutland Falls or whatever, but it's that's what people call it.
It's the only set of falls that's
Yeah.
in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About something
Falls
simple
Park.
like
Falls
Central
Park, yeah.
Rutland Park,
Center Rutland Park.
just something simple like that.
Or the park at the falls, or
Wonder how many votes that's.
Hmm?
Wonder how many votes that's gonna get, depending on vote yes.
Didn't hear.
But that's four. That's good. That's good.
Fifth one is other.
Center Rutland Falls Park.
It's Center Rutland Falls Park. She didn't hear me is what it was.
And that's its unofficial name. You know, it's Mead Falls and then GMP always refers to it as Center Rutland
Not
Falls.
GMP Park, since they gave us the land.
Oh. What is,
How about CVPS?
what was it? The fourth one?
Fortunately.
So we got the Falls, James Mead Park, Crown Point Park, Center Rutland Falls Park, and GMP Park.
No.
It would love it though. It would love it though.
It's their land. So,
So
It's
say
our
those
land.
again.
It's our land.
I mean, but they gave it.
Say those again.
The Falls,
Yep,
James Mead Park,
yep,
Crown Point Park,
yep,
Center Rutland Falls Park,
yep.
GMP Park.
No.
Yeah.
It was just.
What about Falls Park and Park at the Falls? Those are two others that I wrote down.
The falls at GMP Park, they need to get them both in there.
What was the second one, David? The first one?
Well, I wrote down, somebody said Falls Park and somebody else said Park at the Falls. I mean, they're two variations.
Since the sign refers to Mead's Falls, can you just take James Mead off there and just call it Mead's Falls?
Mead Falls.
Yeah, that way it's more, less
That's another one.
Yep.
That was my first suggestion.
Yes, we're using it
Mead's,
without James.
Mead's Falls,
Yeah.
which is the historical,
Yeah.
James wouldn't be in there.
So Mead,
With
it would
an
just be,
S or with a
Mead
D?
Falls.
just with a D, yeah. that's what I thought.
Mead Falls.
Mead Falls.
MEAD.
MEAD.
So Mead's Falls Park.
No, Mead, singular, Mead.
Mead, just Mead?
Yeah, Mead Falls, good. Or Mead Falls Park.
Okay.
There we go.
So back to the select board, they suggested that we have this naming contest as something to do in the community day, but they would have the final say
Oh, of course,
on the name.
because very,
Then what will they put the name? I mean,
So- It's just
maybe
just
that's what
saying.
they're driving for, they want to get their names on
I'm gonna make one comment, then I'll probably shut up for the rest of the meeting.
it. Asphalt ball.
It sounds like we are focusing on the wrong stuff. So we don't even know what we're doing. We don't even know what we're going to celebrate at the falls. We don't know how we're gonna communicate it, yet we want a name.
Well, the thing is that what, if you went to half the people in the town and you said, yeah, this pocket park, you're gonna have to explain where it is.
Yep.
Everything about it, because nobody's gonna know.
Right.
But yet they want a name for it.
That's exactly.
It just blows my mind.
Well, that's two minds that are being blown all at the same time.
Yeah. Maybe they all let us stand there the whole day and explain where it is and what's going on there. And then maybe they'll get some suggestions for names. I don't know.
Didn't we? Never mind, I'm sorry. I said it would.
I know there's great intentions there. I don't,
Yeah,
once
no,
again, I'm not, I know that it's, they have a difficult job, but it's just,
Barbara, I hate to ask you to do this again. Could you give us the names again, please?
The Falls, Mead Falls Park, Crown Point Park, Center Rutland Falls Park, Falls Park,
That's
Park at the Falls.
And James Mead
Falls
Park.
Park is, you've got it twice.
Nope, the falls,
The Falls without,
but without any name.
Yeah.
I have James Mead Park. I have the Crown Point Park. I have Mead Falls or Mead Falls Park. And then I have Falls Park, Park at the Falls, and Center Rutland Falls Park. And I have 7, or some variation of those 7. I can say it again, Sherman, if you want. I went too fast.
No, good, thanks.
What if we get 25 participants?
Select board still gets the opportunity to decide.
What if only 25?
We can go and vote.
Oh, we're lucky to get that.
Yeah.
People are pretty distracted at community. It's mostly families and the kids are only interested in swimming. Because it's usually the last day the pool's open and all this stuff. You're gonna be there with Brock?
No, not this year. At least, no one's asked me, and I'm working with a different population, so I'm not doing outreach.
So everybody check
But
their,
I could be there.
okay.
What's the date here?
The
The 16th.
16th, it's a Sunday
Yeah,
this year.
I think that was a mistake.
Is it Sunday?
It is
It's a
Sunday.
Sunday this year.
Okay.
And I think that's a mistake, but that's okay. That's just
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I forget why they
Huh?
changed it.
What's the mistake?
the Sunday rather than Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday starting at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and people are gonna be at church.
Weird hour for Sunday.
It only
It's a
goes to
weird
2.
hour to start on a Sunday.
Yeah,
I go to church every Sunday and I'm in church at 10 o'clock. So
I know, and I still think it's weird.
it is weird
but you can make it
Maybe we could
at some point.
at some point.
Yeah.
Things like
The 16th, I'm not gonna be out of town.
Hathaway.
Anyone else available on the 16th?
But it's likely to be, you're available. It's likely to be closer to 11:30, Bob.
If I'm in town, I'll be there, but I'll have to let you know.
Okay. Okay,
It's-
so another thing that,
It's not connected.
we've been thinking about doing at the community day is to get the town plan, into gear. And I was thinking, about doing an informal survey about the town plan. And I was thinking about not having it dry and not having it a formal survey like this. Do you strongly agree? Just some bullets that might be provocative, such as, should the new Rutland Town Town Plan, include a ban on data centers?
What?
Data centers.
Any data centers or just AI?
Data centers.
Data.
Or just?
Well-
Like what's being built in Silicon.
I don't know if there's a difference.
Yeah, Washington.
It's only what it's gonna be used for. They're always
Right.
the same, so I
Right.
don't know.
I think everyone knows what we're talking about,
Okay.
right? Should there be a moratorium on commercial solar in the town of Rutland? And would there be a benefit of having an energy and climate action committee in town? I mean, these are just things that, discussion items that we'll probably be having once we start really working in the town plan. So why not ask? What-
Is there? What benefit would there be about these? I'm not saying that I don't have an opinion one way or the other, but these data centers, the state's gonna control it anyway around the town. For 1 acre town, you're not gonna build a data center on less than an acre. So the state's gonna control it through Act 250. So what's the point of us even saying it?
But Act 250 will look at our town plan. And if there is a ban or not, if there is a ban, they'll go back to the developer and say, have you been working with the town because they have a ban on data centers? A lot of these decisions on the data centers are being made locally. The governor he vetoed some legislation that tried to restrict data centers around the state. That did happen in the last couple of months. But in other parts of the country where people are actually proposing data centers, it's come down to local zoning and local planning commissions and such.
It's also come down to a lot of locals getting upset about the impacts of the data center on their community. I know a big one was out in Utah, and Kevin, whatever from, Shark Tank, was putting out a bunch of misinformation about the data centers, and it's going to affect Utah and the locals with their electricity costs. So
Yeah.
I would favor an approach if we're trying to gather information.
Mhm.
I'd favor an approach that focuses on several aspects of development in the town, in the county,
Mhm.
in our area. And I'd favor questions about affordable housing or housing in general. I would favor questions about economic incentives for industry and businesses and development. And I would favor questions around training and education. And find out.
I
what
don't
the-
see how anyone would argue with any of those.
No, but in terms of ideas and what we might want to throw out there as bullet points for them to give us ideas about. Now, some of that may be in the town plan. However, at this point, the only school reference, I think that not the only school reference, our major school focuses on K-8 education. Okay. It doesn't talk about anything collaborative after that they have high school choice, and that's about it. That could be developed. Housing opportunities, housing changes. How do we, maybe share housing where people who are growing older in a house have more house than they need. I'm not saying that has to be a question, but talking about the creativity of housing arrangements, I think could be great. Or putting together a project or attracting someone to come to Rutland Town and build a project that would encourage an influx of
Okay, so to put this in perspective, we are working with the Regional Planning Commission on the town plan. So,
Yep.
like we normally do, and they'll come, there's certain things that have to go into the town plan.
Yep.
And just about all of those topics that you just brought up would be going into the town plan.
Yep.
So we'll be talking about that with Will Austin. He's our person that we'll be working with. So I'm thinking that the public is not going to have a whole lot of ideas about that. And so what I was doing with this list is coming up with some things that aren't required in the town plan, that aren't in there right now, and whether there's something we'd want to consider and ask townspeople about.
Ask what?
townspeople.
Townspeople about. So I hadn't gotten through all of it yet.
Let me make a suggestion.
Yeah,
If it's
you speak up a little
just to
bit.
put this on for the next meeting and send us a list that we can think about,
Well, okay, so,
unless it's too time sensitive.
we were gonna do it at August 16th. And then maybe we could still put it like in the, I don't think we'll be mailing out the survey, but maybe something in the circle or something like that. But it's something to have people,
At least give them the
interact with us.
opportunity- At least give them the opportunity to input.
And we don't have another meeting before the town day, so.
No.
She needs our input tonight. But yes, it's time sensitive. All right, keep going, Barbara.
So the moratorium on commercial solar, if we think, the town is somewhat saturated already, the open lands, the farmlands, saving more open land and conserved lands,
Yes.
benefits of having a conservation committee in town, the benefits of an energy committee in town, growing more local food, getting into some partnerships or and there are things going on in the Rutland area right now about that. Studying zoning light. We want to ask them about that. And an audit of our town departments, and I don't think they've ever had this, about their inclusion practices or regulations. So an audit would be, you know, someone from the outside coming in and saying, oh, you've got this covered. You've got all this stuff, or you don't have any of this.
Can I add one?
That's a big step.
Yeah, Demetrio.
It's like, what about a community garden?
Yep.
We got a lot of open space. Instead of using it for solar panels, why not, kind of bring in with the growth,
Even-
with food, and have the opportunity
at-
for locals to get together and, maybe chip in 15, 20 bucks or whatever to get a plot, and then they can go grow some vegetables.
Or we could do it at Northwood. There's still real estate up there. But yeah, that's a good example of something new that we could talk about. It's not in the town plan right now.
Does the inclusion you belong in the town plan? I just don't see the connection with the town plan and the inclusion that you're talking about.
Let me see where it would fit.
Ask the select board.
Well,
I'm dead serious. You think I'm kidding? Ask them. If they're gonna make decisions, let them make it. Let them ask an outside company to come in and talk to us about whether or not our practices are correct. Here's my opinion, for what it's worth.
I think rather than taking the temperature of what people think about a
That's
topic,
exactly what it is. Go ahead, sorry.
but rather than doing that, because that's the way I started this out, I said I was gonna stop talking, and you told me I couldn't. So maybe I should stop. I think the idea of something specific would be more beneficial. So what do you think of the idea of having a community garden at Northwood? I mean, do you like the idea of a community garden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do you think we need more solar? Do you think we need less solar? Just something that is, it's on or off. It's yes or no, and it's specific to a particular component that we'll include in the town plan. That's it, but not a philosophical discussion of or a philosophical question about ethereal matters. That for me is more important.
Well, keep in mind that there will be an energy section to the town plan, and and the existing one has a map of where we want solar. So it's all kind of interrelated and already in there. But I like where you're going with making this yes, no.
Right.
On these topics.
This is gonna be another survey for people to take at the town festival in addition to ballots, in addition to the survey about the park.
And it could be that they have no opinion. It could be yes, no, no opinion, or I don't know. And then they can get it done in 3 minutes. And whoever wants to look at the data can use that to inform.
What about the zoning light?
I would put that in.
Yes.
So what's zoning like that?
Well, it would just, instead of just saying, are you in favor or not in favor of zoning? We would phrase it in a way where it would be a minimalist type of zoning.
Okay, all right. I thought it was.
What was it? What was
It was an object.
What's the name?
Zoning light, LITE.
Oh, you meant light zoning.
Not like what they came up with 12 years ago, or whatever, which was 100 pages long.
A simplified version of zone.
Minimum zoning.
Minimal zone. I like that even better, Sherman.
Minimal or simplified version.
Yeah, whatever speaks to
I
you.
don't,
What's the matter, Norm?
well, First of all, minimal zoning leaves it wide open. I think.
We won't have more than 4 pages, no.
I think well, you're never gonna see zoning in this town unless it's minimal. Not gonna happen. So if you put out a document more than 20 pages, you might as well forget it and just spin your wheels like we are with this pocket park. Because that's exactly what we did 12 years ago.
And the
Spun our wheels.
bylaws, the subdivision bylaws, was kind of feeling like we're going around in circles with that one. too.
Yeah, I mean, look at where that's taken. That seemed like a pretty logical document that we put a lot of time into, and it's just kind of going around in circles. You imagine zoning. So
It's gotta be simple.
it's gonna be way simple if it's ever gonna
And
happen.
it can't be long, because otherwise people are not, it can't be a reference manual.
I'll bet you if you went to any town where people would give you they would say our zoning is
This is
over
to
the top.
take the temperature,
Most
as
of them.
Dana said, and to give us some guidance. You know, if we want to branch out and add some things to the town plan, that might mean something.
My concern is, I generally favor zoning, as you know. If you put minimal, it's wide open to discussion what it is.
What if you put maximum? Isn't that wide open to discussion too?
Whatever you,
Oh, absolutely.
whatever you
Well,
say.
if you put zoning, it doesn't tell you.
Well, that's just hiding behind it.
What's a minimal zoning?
What's
What's
normal?
minimal zoning?
Well, if they ask, you know, if I was there, I'd probably say something around 20 pages, maybe 30 pages. That covers the basics of zoning
You
and
know, it's
doesn't
not-
get into like what color a house needs to be and stuff like that.
I would say something that has, it has a minimal impact on the way things are done today, but it does have some controls where we need it. Something like that.
You know, I don't think there's a correct answer. Go ahead and do it.
If you don't ask, yeah, how are you gonna know?
Yeah.
You know, we could give some examples, like there was an example on, not Pinnacle Ridge, but the Hathaways and then going west to Route 7, whatever the name of that.
Blueberry Hill?
Blueberry, that's still Blueberry Hill Road. There was an instance there with two neighbors.
Yeah,
And,
right.
and a solar panel several solar panels being put right up against, real close to the property lines between the two. And then a garage, which was kind of part of, you know, the panels. And all that kind of
Obstructing the
stuff.
view of the neighbors of the otherwise picturesque landscape.
So, you know, they came to like town meeting and said, you know, what are you gonna do about this?
And you had to say nothing. There's nothing we
Right.
can do.
And we added, if we had zoning, we could have setbacks.
Right.
From people's property, you know, 50 feet, 25 feet. You can't put anything else.
We had exactly the
Structures
same
and-
circumstance 10, 15 years ago, and a woman didn't like where a shed was put close to her property, and she called every one of us individually. Howard probably remembers that, on her own time, middle of the day, and just called, at least me, called me everything she could possibly call me. We're like, nothing we can do. It's out of our hands. I'm sorry. There's nothing we can do. She
Right.
eventually called back and apologized, but it wasn't us making that decision, and that's exactly what happens. all
We
the
don't
time.
have the
We don't have-
statutory authority
we do
to
not.
regulate it. That's the bottom line.
But if they ask what's zoning light, we could just use some examples like this.
Right.
But I
Just
would-
simple. It'd be nice to have a simple set of.
I don't like the
setbacks
term
and-
zoning
Talking
light.
points.
I would go with either minimal zoning regulations or what was the other alternative?
Simple,
Simplified zoning.
Yeah.
Or
simplified.
simplified zoning
Whatever.
document or for the provisions.
Bylaws.
Whatever. You know, or simplified or minimal. I mean, rather than the zoning light. I mean, the term light is becoming trite and
Yeah,
I don't think it communicates what we're trying to.
So- So we've got community garden at Northwood.
Yeah.
Simplified or minimal zoning.
Yep.
You know, yes, no, or no
Or-
opinion.
No opinion or I don't know, or whatever.
Okay. And what else we want to put on here?
Electrified transportation. I don't. Throwing stuff out there.
Yeah, that's,
Oh,
we can advocate for that in the energy section, but I
Yep. but I don't think it's currently there, but
think it is, but,
Okay. maybe it is.
what about data centers? How should we phrase that? I gather using the word ban is a little too strong.
Discourage,
Opposed to, or you?
discourage. The town plan discourage.
Why are we,
The siting
singling out
of
data
data-
centers as opposed to some?
Well,
Because-
Why don't we say, energy intensive, development,
Such as,
such as data centers, yeah. Energy intensive industry. Such as data centers.
does
That's
that,
more inclusive, yeah.
I wouldn't say
Yeah.
energy intense, I'd
I
say
guess you see it
resource.
pretty tough to put that right by the electric cars. So,
Yeah.
so that's a little bit.
and I'm worried about General Electric if we're like saying, we don't want any more
But I-
companies like that. Dimitro?
I was just saying, because data centers aren't just the electricity costs, it's also the use of water and other resources. So, do we favor
Resource
conservation
Resource
of the
intensive,
town,
yeah.
or do we want to utilize our resources, in this manner?
Right,
Like,
yes,
we
Okay.
want
I
to
agree with that.
conserve or overutilize resources, right?
That's good. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
To discourage the siting of resource intensive industries such as data centers.
Yeah,
Yep.
Would you just leave out such as data center?
No.
No.
No, because then people won't know what we're talking about.
right,
Everybody who's been hearing about data.
Yeah.
Data centers.
It's out there, there's no question about that.
Yeah.
but it gets, I think, Norman, to the point of getting an opinion in the temperature of the population about those types of things, whether that's important to them or not. That's all we want to find out. Yes or no, important,
Right.
not important.
Right.
You have something about encouraging development of housing, of affordable housing.
Yes, there is something already in the town plan about that. We will be hearing from Will Austin, the regional planner, about what else we need to put in there about housing.
Well, what?
Housing,
Affordable
But-
housing.
Yes.
And there will be more that we'll need to add, and there will be more that the town will need
but
to.
there are two questions,
to-
Barbara. Sorry for interrupting. But Will is going to tell us what needs to be there. We can certainly go and solicit information or opinions from the townspeople on those topics to see how they feel about.
Well,
about that.
but, what most towns have an issue with, and it's hard to, get these projects underway, are affordable housing projects. And do we want to broach that topic with our townspeople?
I think it's an opportunity. I think it's a great opportunity.
You know, would you, in their own backyards? And that's what it comes down to in a lot of cases.
I would
The
not
neighbors
mind,
don't want it.
given what I have seen up around North Grove Street and Route 7 North. I wouldn't mind a multi-unit housing development there. I don't know why we would have one situated up there when it's so far removed from services, but I wouldn't care. No, we run an electric bus that goes right into town, and you put that, you combine housing with an electric bus that goes into the center of the city, and people can get to a job there. I think it's contributing to a vibrant community development project.
Well, we could ask is, does Rutland Town need more affordable housing and what locations?
Sure,
Would you
absolutely,
suggest?
yes, absolutely. That's a
We
great
need
question.
municipal services
Yeah,
to do,
To
for
do-
a big housing complex like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
That kind of
I
limits.
like the way you put that.
water and sewer,
Mhm.
yeah.
I like the way you put that.
So,
What about town center? We've talked about that before.
that is all. We need to talk to Will about that because,
I know.
the act that passed, the most recent legislature went in there and made all kinds of changes. So there's a lot of detail to that. That act said that we could have a village center out here. But also Rutland City is doing some stuff, with a growth area. So it gets really complicated really fast. And it's really hard to explain to people. And we definitely need a regional planner to fill us in on the latest information. And just tell us, what would it mean if there was a village center out there? And what does it mean if Rutland City has a planned growth area that covers the whole city? So, the town is around all of that. What are the consequences of that?
Well, maybe there's a planned growth question. You just said it. I mean, that's what.
I know, but it's so hard to explain, especially at a,
Okay, how about a question on
but it's
tourism?
a great question for Will and for us to consider.
How about a question about tourism, encouraging tourism in Rutland Town? And what ideas do people have to use our resources? Northwood Park, the pool, I don't know.
The Belmont Trail.
The Belmont Trail, the falls, anything, encouraging more tourism. Encouraging more tourism brings more dollars to the town, brings more revenue, brings interest, could bring settlement. Who knows? Those are the types of things that I would like to know so that we can get a focus on how we can better promote our growth, our dynamic development.
Okay, that's a good one.
Next.
One thing I wanted to add, I think that the development in Rutland City is great and it's beneficial. I don't think we should overlook the town though, because not everybody wants to live in a city,
Right.
right? And by
Right.
having a conserved land space and having smart development in the town, I think gives an opportunity for others that want to relocate here to relocate to an area that's not necessarily a city, but does give them the freedom of having some land and the ability to do things.
That was one of the reasons why I suggested a moratorium on solar developments. So that we just take a break and preserve what we have for open spaces and maybe they become housing, maybe they become a park, maybe they become something else besides just solar electricity generation.
I would offer that if we are actually doing some of those other things, you won't need a moratorium because there won't be any space to play. So,
First.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
we,
I mean, it does, yeah. You got enough there, Barbara?
I think so.
Super.
You can put that to bed.
We on to minutes yet or not yet?
Demetria, are you available on the 16th for the community day?
Yeah, I mean, I was planning on going down to LBI that day, but I can just leave a little bit later, I guess.
Okay, you want to take the morning, like 10 to noon?
Sure. Where do you have to be at the Pocket Park or at Northwood or where's the?
It's at the swimming pool at Northwood.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I saw the
Yep.
signs for the community day. I just wanted to confirm it was in fact there.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
I think I was there last year too when we had that. So
Yep. Yep. On a Saturday.
So I told you I was available also. You didn't tell me
So you want to do
to
the afternoon?
show up.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
I will.
Noon to 2?
Okay, to do what?
To just be with me at the table,
Oh, yeah, yeah, to protect you
be-
in case someone.
Just
Yeah.
be-
in case someone wants to pick a fight.
Share,
about something.
share information about the town plan and run around and hand out surveys. You can tap me with that. I'll come.
Answer the
Feel
questions
myself.
about, answer the questions about the survey.
Answer questions about the pocket park.
Tell people where it is.
Barbara, when are you gonna be there?
No talking about the select board.
When are you gonna be there?
I'll be there the whole time.
Okay.
It's only 4 hours.
Yeah.
If you just show up, is that okay?
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not sure of the intent.
Okay. Now, the announcements, just, you've got a few things, in the email from, Bill about the municipal impact questionnaire for the Walmart, Super Walmart, so that's just, it just codifies, Act 250 is codifying what the select board agreed, got the developer to agree to. But, the $125,000 per year for 10 years to pay for extra, police coverage there.
That's fine.
So was that
Well, this says 5. I swear the motion said 10.
so is that an attachment to something? I mean, what you're reading?
Yeah, there was,
I
an
missed it
email
for whatever
from
reason.
Addie Shalou, and she works with, David Gray, I believe. And she was just saying, okay, we've got the questionnaire finished out, and then there was a section of the minutes from the select board.
Yeah, I didn't see that attachment.
Yeah.
Did she send it to us directly or did it come from Bill?
It came from, I thought it was part of Bill's, attachments for
I
this
didn't see
meeting.
it. Oh, there was one document I could not open,
Okay.
so I don't know if it was
Anybody
that,
want to see it?
not right now. Maybe you can have Bill's, some out and we'll grab it or something.
Maybe you
Yeah.
can email it.
Oh, okay.
But there was one document I could not open.
Sorry to interrupt. I apologize. I've got some work stuff I gotta take care of. Just came up.
Okay, that's good.
All right. So
you.
I apologize. Yeah. Sorry, I can't stay for the whole thing. Something came up at work, so I'm gonna attend to this. But thank you, and I'll see you guys I'll see some of you on the 16th, and then others on the 27th. We have our next meeting.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just checking to make sure that we have a quorum from last meeting to not have to postpone the minutes.
Okay.
So Barbara, Howard, Sherman, and Norman were all here.
What?
Barbara, Sherman, Howard, and
Norm.
Norman were all here
So,
at the last meeting, so we don't need Demetrio. I just was checking for Bill to
Yep.
make sure we had the right people to be able to vote on the minutes, because I don't wanna have to deal with it.
thank you, Dana. So, yeah, Demetrio, you can leave or you can
Yep.
stick around for the minutes. You can leave.
All right. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Nice to meet you. I'll see ya.
Bye
All
now.
right. Bye.
Okay, any other announcements? Okay, the minutes of July
Move
16th.
to approve.
I'll second.
Sherman,
You weren't here, were you?
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay. All right.
He already got it. I don't have to have Ben here to make a motion.
Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the minutes of July 16th, say aye.
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 Abstain.
I abstain as well.
2 abstentions.
So, yeah, motion passes.
Great. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes. Motion to adjourn.
A second?
No,
So moved.
let's not.
Second.
All those in favor?
Oh,
Aye.